Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Lunchline Podcast, man. This is, in fact, the greatest podcast you never heard. Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Hopefully, you guys have had a blessed week so far. Man, this is Friday, man. Y'all know how we do on Friday. We like to celebrate those who got paid today and those who didn't. If you didn't, man, your time is coming, man. But I want to thank y'all once again, man, for tuning in to the Lunchline Podcast, man. Y'all know how we do it. It's the Lunchline Podcast, man. As I always say, man, treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. If you got bills and you ain't got enough for all of it, at least put something on it, because that's better than nothing, right? But make sure you go do something nice for yourself. Stop at the store, grab yourself a little treat, a little trinket or something like that, man. It's always good to just do for yourself. You know, you work hard, you do all of this stuff, and you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? You work hard all week. You work hard. You sweat. You put up with a lot of people's nonsense, customers and things like that. All of the stuff that you endure through the week. You deserve to do something special for yourself. And that's just what I want y'all to do, man. I want y'all to continue to self-love and do things for yourself that are very important. But, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. I know it's been a while. I've taken some time for me. It's been a really interesting year. And if I can tell y'all the stuff that goes on in my life, you would not believe it. But it's been a very interesting year, man. My dad, you know, as you know, my dad died earlier this year. And you know, that for a while just kind of left me in a blur or in a fog or just in a space of like, you know, I just don't know. You know what I mean? And it was, I wouldn't say I got like super emotional, but I just kind of felt like I was in a fog for a while, and I was trying to, I guess, figure out, you know, how to get out of it. You know what I mean? But it really has, you know, affected me for sure. And man, amongst, you know, other things in life, it's been challenging. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still here, and, you know, I'm loving every phase of it, you know, because I know on the other end of it, I'm gonna come out blessed. But man, listen, you know, I was married once upon a time, right? What year is this? 2022. It's going on 2014. Yeah, 8 years. It's going on 8 years that I've been divorced. And hey man, I can honestly say, I know I know a lot of people say, you know, oh man, like, you know, if I had to do it again, I would do a lot of things different. Like, I should have never married the person that I married. Like, straight up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. Like, we should have never got married. I was ignorant from the point of understanding before I got married. I was completely ignorant to a lot of things that I needed to be privy of. And I was young, and I didn't have all the answers. Not that anybody does, but I just didn't have the tools, to overcome the things that I thought I would be able to overcome. And, you know, also, you know, coupling that with being a man of faith, you know, Christian faith at the time, like, you know, all of those things, you know, you jumping in gun ho, biting off more you could chew, and you just ain't ready for it. But, you know, having that confidence or that overzealousness to overlook the signs. There's always the signs there. And I'm gonna be 100 with y'all today. Like, the signs were there. Like, bro, don't do it. But my longing and my desire for family, to have my own family, you know what I'm saying? I think I allowed that to supersede, just logical sound evidence like this. Don't do this. And so I did. And, I think we were married for 5 years. Couple kids, man. And it was a awful marriage, man. Like, it was an awful marriage, man. Shit. And I've never really spoken publicly. I don't post stuff on social media. I don't do none of that, stuff where people are just revealing all the information all the time. Like, the only way you know it is by me telling you this podcast and telling you on this podcast in this very moment. But I've never really spoken like publicly at all or let anybody know what I've endured. And it's been a fucking nightmare, a lot of court from the divorce, with a lot of court, having a horrible relationship with, my son's mother, like after the divorce, and it's been rocky and it's still rocky. It's been so much stuff that I've been through, like from being accused of sexually abusing my kids, like shit it's been crazy. So, and this started all back in 2014. And it's over and done with, and that's been done. But like, man, like I say all this to say is like, bro, you gotta really pay attention to, and I don't want to put this primarily on her. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to really, that's not where I'm going to go initially to start. But I'm meaning taking responsibilities for the decision that I made, and also seeing how I allowed my desire to supersede logical, sound information. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted that thing so bad. So, and I guess, people do that in relationships. Like we cling to, we ignore all that we clearly see. And we still dive in trying to overlook that because we care more about what it is. And I wanted to have a wife, and I wanted to have kids, and, I wanted to have, picket fence, the whole nine. And, it just was with the wrong person. And I'm pretty sure she'll say the same thing. Like, it was just with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? But, I just didn't think about it like I should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I really should have gave, all of it a lot more thought. And I talked to my boys, my homies, and, my bros, my day ones or whatever. Like, I talk to them, and when I do, I'm like, man, y'all niggas should have did more to try to stop me. And they be like, man, we tried to tell you, like, don't do it. But I went on ahead and did shit anyway. And, that's my fault. But, like, that's what it is, man. Like, the human ego is something else, but like my pride and my like I allowed it to make decisions for me. And I can clearly admit, like, I didn't think things through. And it's a rough spot to be in, when you go through that. And if, and I would like to say that I've grown a lot. I've grown tremendously, through that process. And you just, it's a hell of an experience, man. The sexual abuse thing, bro, all but like destroyed me emotionally, straight up, like being 100 with you. Like it emotionally, man, got me to the brink of like, the one of the lowest periods I've ever been in. But at the time of going through it, still having to function, and still having to go to work, and go to court and be strong. Ain't no time for me to really sit down and lick my wounds. Like, you got to be strong, got to keep going, got to keep your head up. And that's what. And so for a while there, you go through a lot of different emotions. I mean, too many to count. You go through all these emotions, you go through all these different things. And it just, bro, like, it's a lot. And it's a lot of men who go through the same thing too. Things not working out with their baby moms or their wife. And the first thing that they spouse go and do is start screaming sexual abuse. Like, that shit, man. That shit, to those solid brothers, those solid men who are truly innocent, who truly love their kids, who would never hurt their kids, and who have never hurt their kids, it fucks with you, bro. Because it's the one thing that, you care about more than everything else. And for somebody to like say that shit about you, like, bro, it takes you to a place, man, of like, you go through rage, you want to get violent, like, all of this shit, like, because it's like, bro, like ain't no way in hell I would hurt my kids like that. You know what I'm saying? And all of the men who've been through it, like, you like, man, I can't believe this motherfucker. Like, you, and I think after that, I really did lose all respect for my kids' mama, man. Like, that's the reality. Like, I lost all respect for her in that moment. And it's like, you want to talk about like regret. Like, I lived with that regret for years. And, now I've my path is a lot different now. But I live with that regret of like, man, I wish I never would have. It was no, like, I wish we would have did shit different. It was like, I wish I never would have met you. Like, I wish I never would have met your ass. And that's how you feel. And even in saying that, like, I don't hate her. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, I really don't hate her. Like, I wish the best for her and I want her to be okay. And, but I don't hate her. And I told her that, she, in our, like, I'll say to this day, man, like, our relationship is still rocky, still up and down because of the kind of person she is. And because of the kind of mother that she is to our children at times. It's just one of them things, man. Like, I know there's a lot of things that have been said about me or talked about me, but I ain't never had the inclination to, like, let me go fight back or throw a stone or defend myself publicly, because fuck, like, whatever, man. You do whatever you feel like you need to do right now. And, even the word says, for those of you, who know, you don't argue with a fool, man. And me on there trying to defend, myself and arguing with somebody who does not care about the truth. The truth doesn't matter. It's the fact that I want to fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, that's to the men that are right, to the men that are solid, to the men that are real dads who love their kids, who treat their kids like a loving father should. Hey, man, it bro, like, you don't have the same trust like you once did. Like, you just don't. Like, it breaks you in a way. And I'm just going through, I don't know why I'm talking to you guys about this. I guess it's because it's been the most recent shit that goes on in my life on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, is the nonsense, the ups and downs, the arguing over just goofy shit, like stuff don't even matter. And it's fucking exhausting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beyond exhausting to have to deal with that shit. And as a man, like, I understand why, and people don't believe this. Like, men, we honestly don't nobody care, bro. Don't nobody care. Ain't no platform. And there should be a space. And there is a space for, there should be more spaces for men to really lean on each other. But as a man, like, where you gonna go cry at, my guy? You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna cry at? Like, don't nobody get, you gotta get through it. You know what I'm saying? And so going through all that for all those years, man, and, it did make me stronger. But it affected me in a way that I'm still getting out of. And even though I say, like, I don't hate my kid's mom or nothing like that. Like, I don't talk bad about her. I don't badmouth her. No shit like that. Like, I don't do that. I don't run around here. I don't make posts about her. Like, most of the people don't even know who my baby mama is or my ex-wife is. Like, most people don't even know. No idea. Never say anything. Never put any hints up. And you can ask, you can ask girlfriends that I've had, like, after I was married. And, like, I never trashed her that way. I expressed frustration when I felt like she was doing some ignorant shit, but I never, like, openly just looked to just trash her as a person. Like, yo, like, she this or she that or nothing like that. Like, I never done that. And my business is my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't put my business out there for everybody to see, critique, and judge. But, man, make sure, man, that y'all being wise with the person that you connect yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as you think you got the ability to change somebody, you're fooling yourself in a way, because you're not responsible for changing that person. I mean, you can change them. I mean, you can change them by, being a loving person and the acts that you do and stuff like that. But thinking you can alter their personality or alter their habits or change or tweak things in them. I don't care if you're super spiritual or not. Shit. Please don't get that. Listen, coming from a guy who was once extremely spiritual, like a one praying, like, you could just, do all of these. Listen, it's not your responsibility to change somebody. Don't ever think that you can. And it's our ego as people that often lead us astray. It's our ego as people that often lead us astray. Because we have in each and every one of us, in our minds, we have a way that we think life, things, relationships, jobs, interactions, social ideas, beliefs. We have we have a way that we think things should be. And it's really trippy when you dissect it and when you think about it, when you get into it. We, in our minds, somebody somewhere, we don't know who, depending on what you're talking about, somebody has set the terms of the way that things should be, or this should be that, or this should be that. Let's just say, for example, beauty. We're talking about beauty. We're talking about looks, right? So when we talk about Beauty. What is the concept of beautiful? Oh, this person is beautiful. Oh, that person is beautiful. Oh, this person is beautiful because she's thin. Oh, this person is beautiful because she has long hair. Oh, this person is beautiful because she has short hair. No, this person's a 10. Look at their cheekbones. Oh, look at her body. Her body. She got a bigger butt than the other girl. So and in these constructs of what we believe the standard of something is, like looks, we tell ourselves that this person is more beautiful than that person. According to whose terms? Who's to say that this person, a person who has 70% burns all over their body, we look at that person and say that a person who is a supermodel, you got a supermodel and you got a person who's a burn victim. And we look at the burn victim and we say, you're not as beautiful physically as this person, because this person is beauty queen, is the standard of what we think looks should be. This is how we gauge the way that we look. Men and women, we gauge the way that we look based off of these supermodels or actors or actresses. And we look at the burn victim or the person who may be what they consider disfigured as not beautiful enough. And it's like all subjective. It's like, who's to say that the burn victim isn't more beautiful than the drama queen or the beauty queen? You see what I'm saying? It's all so very subjective. You think about working jobs, making money. And society tells us that, I mean, think about it. Like, society tells us that success is based off of how much money you can have. And I know that's not the real definition of success. If you know that, then that's not the real definition of success. But society tells us that success means that you have X, Y, Z. Trust fund, 200,000 in the bank. You paid off all your debt. Like this is what society says is successful. And you got somebody who makes $35,000 a year and they live in a very comfortable life. They're happy. They don't want, they live within their means. But there's somebody's perception of wealth or success will look at that $35,000 a year person and say, your life is terrible. Your life is awful. Your life doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean as much as mine. But your life has to be terrible. You only make $35,000 a year, so you should feel bad about your life. You should feel bad about your life because you make $35,000 a year. You shouldn't be happy. You don't deserve to be happy because you don't make enough money. Think about that. What if this person is very good at budgeting, doesn't spend outside their means, they don't have desires, they don't have cravings for materialistic things that tell them that they're valuable. But you have a very wealthy person who has to have the Gucci and the image of what people have deemed as important. You're important if you can wear a Goyard bag or you have whatever. You're important if you got a Birkin bag. If you can't buy a Birkin bag, you having a Guess bag, it ain't as cool. They're just bags. But we attach this really skewed value to it. In all reality, it doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't really mean anything at all. Like it don't mean nothing. But we attach this really frivolous view of what we think is valuable. You know? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And I'm going to just say this, man, because I think about this a lot, man. Like, We as people, man, our ego, man, tells us that in a relationship with somebody, don't y'all understand a relationship is a union of a people or persons who decide to come together for a unique belief for a period of time. But in our reality, we make the error in our unions, in our agreements that we have with people, like, yo, you and me, we together, whatever, is that we own that person. None of us own anybody. Like, nobody owns anybody. Do you know that it's possible for everybody to get cheated on? And I'm not condoning cheating. I get it, but hear me out. But like, everybody has the possibility to get cheated on. And you know what? There's nothing you can do about that person making that decision. It's a decision that they felt like they needed to make for them at that moment. Like, in all reality, I get it. I know y'all saying that they broke the agreement. You feel like you feel some kind of way, but you have no control over people. People will do whatever they feel like they need to do. And a lot of times their cheating has more to do with them than it does with you. It's just something that they wanted to go do at that time. It doesn't mean that you lacking something, or you ain't pretty, or you ain't handsome, or you ain't this, or you ain't that. It's just what another human being decided that they wanted to do at that moment. That's really it. That's really it. And that's how you know, and the feelings that we have about it are because our emotions, you know, if we don't step back and observe ourselves and observe our behaviors, then we don't realize, like, bro, like, I put very unrealistic expectations on I put unrealistic expectation on another being who has the ability to make decisions about their life, to make decisions day to day, to do what they want to do. You're telling another being to, like, yo, this is what I expect you to do today. And you do it this way and you do it that way. Like, we don't have control over each other, man. We got to stop thinking that we got control over each other. Like, we don't got no control over each other. You don't have no control over what that man or that woman do. But when we look at ourselves and say, you know, this is what we lack and this is what we don't have, and we immediately look to the things that we believe are flawed within us, and we say, hey man, maybe what didn't I do? Then, like, hey, she didn't like my cooking, or what, I didn't make enough money, or I ain't successful, or like what. I think the first thing that you need to do is not look at yourself and find the flaw, or try to sift through the jar of flaws that you've I don't know, conjured up for yourself over the years. You know, you sifting through all these ideas or these things that you think is wrong with you, but you know, it's really not as deep as we think it is. Self-love is very important. Self-love is very important. And in a relationship, if people break up and they decide not to be together, I think if I break up in the future, I would want it to be a healthy separation, to where we've both during the time of us being together, we both committed ourselves to focusing on being the best version of who we want to be. Us focusing primarily on self-love and working on our heart and our minds and our thoughts, and being aware of who we are, being conscious of who we are and how we act and how we behave. Are we striving daily to become the best version of ourselves for ourselves? You know, Not for anybody else, but for ourselves. Are we working daily to become the best version of ourselves? And if we've done that, and then if our relationship comes to an edge, it was like, yo, I don't think this is something, I don't feel the same way that I did about this relationship in the beginning. And, I think it's time. I just don't think we're on the same playing fields. I want the best for you. And the other person say, well, I want the best for you. Just because we're not together means that, one person is going to be broken and torn apart, but it can be a mutual separation of like people understanding like, yo, our time has just passed. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. It's all perspective. Like, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not a great person. It doesn't mean that you ain't beautiful. It doesn't mean any of that. We are all, I think we need to realize we are all trying to figure out this thing called life for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, we all trying to figure this thing out, and we're all just parading around in our beliefs and our thoughts and our ideas and concepts. And we all trying to figure this thing out for the first time. Like, we ain't see it. We ain't look down and like glance over human life for 60 years and watching what people do. Like, okay, I know what not to do when I get down. There's none of that. You one time and you here. So we all trying to figure it out. And I say that because I believe that we all need to be, more gracious with each other and more gracious with ourselves and understanding, who we are and where we're going and, understanding that things change and people change, and it's all okay. Like, it's all okay. All the things that I told you before that I've been through, like, it's all okay. Like, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that it happened. I'm still alive. I'm still, like, all of that bad stuff that happened to me, it happened and I got through it and I'm still alive. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. That's how I view it. Like, yeah, it happened, but I can't allow that past to rob me of my present. You know what I'm saying? I can't let it rob me of my present moment, because if you get to thinking about your past too much, that's where you stay. You stay stuck in your past subconsciously, not realizing that all you doing is just playing out the loop of all the things that happened to you bad. So one bad thing happens to you out the day. So you take that one bad thing and it opens up. It's a key to open up doors of all of the other bad things that happen, and you just survey them all. You go through all of them. Oh, this reminds me of this. This reminds me of that. This reminds me of that. And if you don't realize, like, yo, I'm thinking about all of the things that went wrong in my life, that happened in my life. And I've done that. I've been that person. I used to be stressed out, having chest pains and problems and stuff like that, being pissed off. And I did that for a long time. And, got to a point to where I'm like, yo, I want to decide how I feel. Like, I want to be the person that dictates my feelings or my emotions. That's who I decided I wanted to be, man. Like, for real. And I didn't want to allow myself to allow, because you have to, nobody does anything to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just you react how you react, and it's your fault and it's your responsibility. So I don't believe somebody can do something to me and say, well, you made me. No, there's no such thing as you made me. Like, I did that because I decided to do it, because I reacted and I didn't think. Like, all of that stuff happened and I'm still here, and it's all a blessing. Like, this life is a blessing, and I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. So I mean, I know a lot of men who are going through this, who have been through this, who are currently going through this. You know, if you going through a trying time through, you know, the courts or through, custody or just whatever, man, or just having hard parenting exchanges, understand that one of the key things, the only thing that you can really change is yourself. You can change how you act. You can change how you think. You can change how you choose to respond. You have to be the defining factor because nobody can do anything to you. You may think they do, but no, you make those reactions yourself. So understand that you can control how you feel. If you decide to say, I want to be happy, I'm choosing to be happy. Nobody can really come and steal something from you that you really have within you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you came over here and you just ruined my day like this. No, they didn't. Like, They can try to influence you from their actions or emotions or whatever it is that they doing. But you realizing like, bro, I don't have to respond to this stuff in this way. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, you think about all of the things that you've made it through. That's evidence, you know, all of the stuff that we all been through, you know, the hard times, difficult times, and you're still alive. That's evidence that you are capable. Capable. Like, you can get through it. Like, it's hard, it sucks, it doesn't feel good. But the truth is, man, is that you can definitely get through it. So I just want to, you know, encourage some brothers, man, like, shit. And people, man, like, I'm just all over the place, man. We're just having a conversation. Like, man, our egos, man, are a trip, though. Like, we a trip as people, man. We a trip as people. We so forceful. And we want stuff. People have all of these arguments about stuff, man. And I just sit back and I just go like, man, God damn, these people are arguing and they're yelling at each other and they screaming at each other and they having these strong debates about stuff. Because you have two people who want the other person to believe that they're right. You know, reality, like a lot of stuff, like everything has a place, man. Like everything has a place. People sitting around here arguing and fighting over what man should pay the bill and like all of this stuff, man. It's really senseless conversations at this point. Like, I'm just like, man, I think people are gravitating towards the argument more than they gravitating towards the solution. Like, they just want to argue about it, man. At this point, man, like, people ain't trying to find a resolution on stuff, man. They just want to argue about the problem because that's what feels good. That's the emotion they looking for, is the conflict, you know what I'm saying? Like the tension, like, give me the tension. Don't give me the solution. We ain't trying to get to no solution. Man, like, y'all talking about relationship stuff, man. Don't y'all know it's 7 billion people in the world, man? We dealing with 7 billion people, all these billions of personalities and millions. I mean, like, come on, man. Come on. Y'all sit around here and that's the ego. Oh, this is weird. That's strange. And listen, I'm guilty of it. Like, I've been a person like, oh, that's weird. That's disgusting. Like, how you do that? You nasty. But in all reality, man, it's our ego that tells us that things should be the way that they should be because that's how we think we should be. They should be. Like, you should be this way because I think they should be. Like, it's nothing more than that. Then it's just, it's the, ooh, that doing that in the bedroom is nasty. Or, ooh, a man should pay the bill for dinner and he doesn't. Ooh, that's gross. A woman prefers to cut they grass and she encourages her husband to let her do it. Oh, he ain't masculine. Like, it's just these things that we just, you know, like, think about all of this stuff, man. These people in relationships arguing like, do you do this? How do you do this? How come you don't do that? Why? We just want to argue. Everything is supposed to be different. Like, that's why we're unique as people. Like, people are supposed to have different ways about doing things. And everything doesn't have to fit in the box of our reality of how they think we should be. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, you let your kids cuss? Yeah, I don't care if my kids cuss. Just don't be cussing at no adults. You know when to do it, when not to do it. But you ain't gonna say to your mama, or you ain't gonna say to your grandma or your daddy or your brothers or sisters, man, shut the hell up like that. No, you ain't doing no shit like that. But they just cuss words. But we return, don't say those words are bad. Those words. I mean, it's just words, man. Just words. But we attach meaning to it and say, oh, this word here, like, damn it, shit. Those are words that you should. It's just words, bro. It's just the nuances. Oh, you can't do it this way. Oh, you can't do it that way, man. We are so selfish as people. We're so selfish. We're so selfish. We argue with other people because we want them to believe what we believe and they don't. There's room for everybody. I'm a person who I advocate for polygamy all day long. Like, but I got homies that's monogamous. Okay, you be monogamous then. Like it all fits. We need to stop pointing the finger at the other side and saying that that's bad. Unless you hurting somebody or abusing somebody or some sick shit like that. Like, yeah, you need to get your ass handed to you. But if you're not abusing anybody or hurting anybody or anything like that, and it's just something that you like to do, everybody should be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be okay with that. Like, it's enough with trying to force each other to live or believe or do things one way. You know, you got all of these religions out here, and a lot of them are standing at the hilltop pointing at the other one saying, yours is wrong. 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 Mine is wrong. Yours is wrong. Mine's better than yours. Yours is stupid. It's all okay. There's enough room for everybody. There's always been enough room. There's enough room for everybody. There's enough room for all of y'all and all of your religions and all of your little quirky beliefs and weird things that you like to do, you know, whatever. Like, there's enough room for everybody. There's enough room for all of it to coexist. And it has, and it will. It does. Think about it. We argued about something that does exist. We arguing about something that already exists, that already happened, that people are already doing. Oh, you shouldn't marry this person interracially. You shouldn't. It's already been happening. It's already happening. Maybe it's time for you to get over it. Like, it's happening. Whether you believe in it or not, like, it's happening. You gonna sit here and tell people who they should love and like, and you know, it's just, I get it. Like, everybody has their preference. And that's fine. Your preference is fine for you. Your preference shouldn't influence your ideology about somebody else because their preference is different from yours. But y'all know what I'm saying, man. Enough rambling on, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is a crazy ass conversation. Man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is the Lunchtime Podcast, man. I get it, y'all. Next week, man. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Be kind with yourself, man. Love on others. And embrace each moment, man, and take time to enjoy and love life, man, in the best way that you can. It's all wonderful. You're blessed. Think about all the great things that are happening to you and for you, the things that you do have, you know, and never base it off of what others have, because you're gonna shortchange yourself. This is Lunchtime Podcast, man. Y'all take care, man. I'll get at y'all next time. Peace.